Business Unity South Africa has expressed deep concern about what it calls inappropriate rhetoric directed at those who have raised concerns regarding the NHI Act in its current form. Now, this comes as views continue to differ around this particular subject. Business Unity South Africa CEO Khulekani Mathe joins us now for a discussion. Good afternoon to you, and thank you so much for your time. Reading your statement, as you know, Business Unity South Africa, you are expressing concern at what you're calling inappropriate rhetoric with regards to, of course, your views on the NHI Act in its current form. Is this with regards to what the health minister said, or is it a deeper issue?
Good evening, or good afternoon, Bongiwe, and to the viewers. Well, you know, we have indicated our concerns about the NHI Act in its current form, and we think that the most appropriate thing to do is that we should have an opportunity to engage with the government to discuss our concerns and try to find a solution. And so we are disappointed that instead of engaging us directly, there have been utterances made in the media and in various other platforms rather than engaging us directly.
Are you able to tell us which part of these particular remarks raised your concerns?
Well, just as an example, I mean, you know, making reference to those disagreeing with the NHI and likening them to the Swart Gevaar of the apartheid era, we think that is inappropriate, because essentially what it says is that the exercise of a right in a democracy to put your views forward about policy or legislation is not allowed, and that cannot be right in a democracy. And so we think it's inappropriate to do that. What should happen is that when citizens raise concerns, citizens should have an opportunity or be engaged on those concerns that they raise.
And I remember speaking to Cas Kuvadia at some point just after the signing of the second presidential health compact, and he said that there was still hope for an engagement with government. Have you received any response at all to this hope or even requests for engagement?
We have not yet received any response. We have written to the president requesting an engagement with the president in light of those developments. We are obviously aware of the president's busy schedule. He's been out on a state visit in China. We're hoping that when you know the president comes back, he'll be able to respond to our request to engage with us, because we believe that the concerns are of such a nature that they need to be given audience. And as we say in our statement, we would like to engage the president, the Minister of Health, and National Treasury, so that we can find a solution to the issues and concerns around the NHI Act.
What happens if you don't find each other?
We firmly believe in social dialogue. We do not expect that everything we want will be granted, as it were, but we think that we will be able to find each other if we actually get down to have a constructive engagement rather than engaging via the media or any other platform. So we have no doubt that if we sit down, we will be able to find each other. And by the way, this was the president's own statement that he made during the opening of Parliament, saying that he was open to engagement so that we can find an appropriate, or rather find each other on the areas that we disagree on. So we absolutely believe in social dialogue and engagement.
And of course, I'm sure you've seen some of the reports around this particular matter. The minister saying that he's willing to listen to discussions, but if discussions are around foundational policies with the NHI, that might be a little bit difficult. So what happens then if the discussions are around the foundational policies and you are not able to meet each other at that point?
We would really like to explore all of that in an engagement with the minister. So if he is open to discussing, having discussions with us, we would welcome that and would like an opportunity to put before him not just our concerns, but also our proposals on what we think can be done to get the NHI Act to a point where we can all fall behind it and support its implementation.
All right. And just before I let you go, 8 agreements being signed in China. You heard the president just a short while ago. BUSA's take?
Well, China is a huge market, and for South Africa to sign an agreement with China can only be good for business, because it means that products from South Africa have access to the Chinese market, and that can only be good for business. And so we're very happy with that. Of course, the detail is always the devil is always in the detail, but we think that the details can be worked out. I think what is important is that there is an understanding that allows South African products to enter the Chinese market, and some of the other sticking points that the president referred to have been ironed out. And again, we welcome that, and we think it's only good for South Africa.
All right, as you say, you're waiting for the president to come back and hopefully have an engagement around the issues around the NHI Act. Keen to hear from BUSA then. Post those particular engagements, what becomes then the way forward? But thank you so much for your time. Do appreciate it. That was Business Unity South Africa CEO Khulekani Mathe.